I want to get started by talking to you about something very important. The Iron Dome. Israel's defense against its enemies. Okay? A costly endeavor, but one of the technological marvels of the world. A missile system that intercepts incoming projectiles from the air. That is around like what, $75,000 per missile. Now the reason why I want to talk to you about Iron Dome is because it was brought up as a point of contention against funding and was taken off the original bill that it was supposed to be on because progressives applied pressure. Okay? And the squad came out against the Iron Dome funding and angered, this is yesterday, and angered the pro-Israel Democrats and the Republicans, of course, as well. Israel holds crisis talks with the United States after funds were cut. Pro-Israel Democrats push back after far-left members of the party successfully pushed to have $1 billion in funding for the Iron Dome missile defense system stripped from a spending bill last week. After members of the so-called squad of House members led by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashid Tlaib, successfully threatened to oppose the bill that was needed to prevent a government shutdown, House Appropriations Committee Chair Representative Rosa DeLauro introduced a standalone bill to provide the money for the system that has prevented countless casualties in Israel since its introduction in 2011. Now, of course, remember, Republicans are supposed to be populist, right? They're supposed to be populist. Like, they're like, oh yeah, America first, baby. America first. Guess what? That's not, there is just no, there is absolutely zero reason why we're giving $1 billion to Israel to defend itself. Okay. The Iron Dome is great. It's probably one of the more ethical parts of our alliance with Israel in comparison to plenty of other parts that are not nearly the entire ordeal. Okay. But they can pay for it themselves. Why are we paying for it? I don't understand it. People were telling me, people were literally telling me, oh, dude, well, the Iron Dome is the best part of our, alliance with them. It's actually good. It's a good thing. It's okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. It's I would rather have a fucking Iron Dome. I would rather have an Iron Dome, intercept projectiles than not have it there. But why isn't Israel paying for it itself? Am I fucking nuts? I feel that's such a weird thing that we're doing and that we've decided is a normal thing to do. Why? They're rich, dude. They got money. They can pay for it themselves. I just don't get it. I literally do not understand it. It's just it does not make. Bibi famously said Israel was financially self-sufficient a decade ago when asked this question. I don't understand it. I just no one will ever be able to. Similar to Lehman Brothers collapse, over-leveraged big ass real estate firms collapsing due to being over-leveraged. Okay, but that's a separate nation. The Lehman Brothers are a financial institution, okay, within the United States. Yeah, there's implications for global capital and all that sort of stuff. But the reality is you can't make it's too big to fail argument about fucking Israel. It's a different country. It's a whole ass country on its own. And they're fucking they got a lot of tech there. You know what I mean? They got a lot of industries there. It doesn't make sense to me at all. It literally does not make sense. And I say the same thing about arming other fucking nations too. Don't get me wrong. Don't try to be Hasan is singling out Israel again. Look at him. No, I just literally do not understand why we need to have like 7 million bases all around the fucking planet, and like also give Israel $1 billion for its defense system, its missile defense system that we built. Like, why? Why are we doing that? Wants all the weapons for Turkey. Don't let him lie to you. Yeah, literally. I'm just. Why aren't we making an Iron Dome for Turkey? That's my argument. And you know, there was some performative shit going on. I don't even understand. Now, tears on the House floor. AOC appears to be crying as the House passed a $1 billion funding for Israel's Iron Dome. She voted no and then switched her vote to present last minute.
Mr. Lawson, designated by Mr. Lawson of Florida, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Lawson will vote nay on.
It's so funny because it's like, why did AOC change her vote? I have no idea. I don't know. I literally don't know why she did that. I don't understand it. Like, it's gonna pass regardless of whether she says no or present or whatever the fuck she says. Someone said AOC most likely changed her vote because there's a good chance her new district, due to redistricting, will include Riverdale, which is a large pro-Israel/Jewish population. Okay, but you're fucking cucked no matter what, dude. Like, voting present on that on a last second is not going to change anything. You know what I mean? What the fuck is Riverdale? I thought that was a fake movie. Like, dude, it passed 420 to 9, dude. The House vote overwhelmingly passed the bill to provide $1 billion in funding for Israel's Iron Dome. The final vote was 420 to 9 with 2 present. 8 Democrats and 1 Republican voted against the bill. 2 Democrats, including AOC, voted present. Like, explain this to me, dude. Explain this to me. And then when you're done explaining it to me, explain it to, like, just some American dude. Just a regular dude that is, I don't know, a carpenter, okay? Be like, hey, man, we just gave... Congress oftentimes cannot reach a bipartisan conclusion on anything. Unless it comes down to giving $1 billion to Israel's Iron Dome defense systems. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Why do we give so much money to our allies, especially like rich ones? Like, especially ones that are wealthy. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Saudi Arabia is another example. It's like, why? What the fuck? Why are we giving any aid to Saudi Arabia? Cut that out. Okay? Cut it out. I know present means to abstain from voting, my friend. I know that. I understand that. It's just like she wanted to make sure her record was not tarnished with a no vote. And that's gonna, it doesn't matter though, because she's still absolutely gonna have fucking ads cut out for her because she's a part of the squad. Her potential in the district would include Riverdale, which is a rather large Jewish population. Like, that makes no sense. Like, she's already gonna get yeeted. Like, she's not gonna get yeeted because her district, as it stands currently, before redistricting, absolutely loves her. Like, she is incredibly popular, and I'm sure there's still going to be constituents in the new district, in the new cutout district, that is like, you know what I mean? Like, her voting present instead of fucking no doesn't change anything. Because it's indirectly using our tax dollars to pay off Northrop Grumman and Halliburton. Money laundering will give you money if you buy American. Great job, U.S. government. You just pushed back the rapture again. The only reason Jesus hasn't come down yet is because the Iron Dome would blast him out of the sky. True, dude. Someone should tell the fucking evangelicals, who are, of course, the largest funders and donators of the state of Israel in the United States. It's not the American Jews that sent funds to Israel. It's the evangelical white Protestant Christians, by the way. For those of you who don't know, I've talked about this a million times, but like, I should repeat it again and again. They do this because they believe that, like, the chosen sons and daughters of God, the Jews, need to control the entire land of Israel and beyond. Actually, I think it goes like all the way to like parts of Egypt too, so that Jesus Christ can come back down to earth and fight Satan in Megadoodoo, okay? And then that triggers the rapture where all of those fucking diabetic hogs are going to be sucked up into the fucking heaven because they've been good, wholesome, white evangelical Protestant Christians. This is a very real thing that they believe. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, it sounds like a joke, but like a big chunk of Americans that vote believe this, okay? Not a big chunk, but like a very, very vocal minority that has outsized and awesome power within American Congress believe this. And so they get sucked up into the heavens. Of course, the idea itself is not like pro-Jewish in any meaningful capacity, because the Jewish people that don't convert to evangelical Christianity when the rapture end times comes will also burn in hell alongside people like ourselves who did not convert to evangelical Christianity. So we're all dying. Like we are destined for eternal damnation and hellfire. So the idea itself is not exactly like a pro-Jewish idea. It's just more so like pro-Israel for now type beat. So, bro, I was a Christian fundamentalist. I believe that shit. It used to scare the shit out of me. I just don't understand how you can live life and like every day with that kind of fear. Do they think like the Pope is going to hell, or what's the deal with that? Dude, they're evangelical Protestants. I don't know what the fuck they believe about the Pope. Yeah, so far, Congress has an incredible track record. Only yesterday, they had a bipartisan bill to give CIA officers, restitution and healthcare payments because they are suffering from Castro's attack lasers that give them Havana syndrome. And today, we're giving $1 billion to Israel. And no, Israel is not an American territory, nor is it a state or anything like that. It's just an ally, which is ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous. In Mormonism, when you're baptized, you become Jewish basically because they're the chosen people of God. I mean, dude, listen. Like, the Jewish religion has some fucking sick lore. Like, I'm totally invested in it, okay? There's a lot of cool shit going on. I'm into it. That's not how becoming Jewish works. We know, motherfucker, they're Mormon, okay? Well, if it does happen, LMAO, I believe it will. You can just accept Jesus and be saved. Wait, I have like an evangelical Protestant Christian in here? That's crazy. Like, how the fuck do you deal with this every day? Oh, the bill also is not purely defensive, even though the bill language clearly involves funding IDF raids and bombings, but also no such defensive system would ever be offered to Gaza, an open-air prison with no freedom of movement or control over air or water that's constantly being starved. This conversation is such disingenuous bullshit, and I'm losing it. Obviously, the U.S. has for many decades intervened on behalf of one party and sought to subjugate the other party. Why is everyone acting like the U.S. government is just a peace-promoting neutral third party? It's all fake. Obviously, selling defensive systems is an implicit endorsement of a country's offensive war making. What would happen if Biden gave defensive systems to Iran, Russia, or Hezbollah? We wouldn't be doing this fake thing where we act like it's not an endorsement of offensive war. I mean, he's right. And we should. I don't understand why we literally don't fucking give weapons to every side. I mean, we kind of do. But there's like a serious imbalance with the weapons that we give to those we declare like, you know, the brown folk versus those we declare on our side. Like, we literally should just start. Honestly, I mean, you double up on your investment and then you have to sell Israel even more powerful weapons. You know what I mean? More R&D. I'm just saying, make an Iron Dome for Palestine. Make an Iron Dome for Palestine. Make an Iron Dome for Iran. Okay. And then you have to give everyone else even more powerful weapons. You got to be like, oh, well, now we need like, you know, penetrative Hellfire missiles that like the Iron Dome is stopping. I'm just saying, dude, this is some real clever shit, dude. I mean, holy fuck. Am I hired? Thank you. Or the CIA just called me. I'm hired. This is now This is now a sponsored stream by Raytheon, dude. I'm a fucking war dog, baby. What do you think Iran-Contra was? We were funneling weapons to Iran while publicly supporting Iraq, playing both sides. You never lose, baby. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like baby shit. We're funneling baby shit. Like, I'm talking kick it up a notch. Instead of doing like fucking, you know, suspiciously funded JSOC operations or suspiciously funded CIA operations where we're like giving like, you know, shitty ass fucking weapons, like shitty ass weapons from like fucking 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Why don't we just like give him good weapons? Okay? You know, kick it up a notch, dude. Give him good weapons. So then, because we gave them the good weapons, then we have to give even better weapons to the other side. You know what I mean? This broadcast brought to you by Raytheon Shadow Legends. Use my code Piker821 to get a free in-game nuke and a free pass to get into lobbying with powerful in-game officials. That's just more U.S. tax money. Who cares, man? It's not like we could do productive things with that tax money anyway. What, you think we're going to get healthcare? Shut up, idiot. You know, what, you think we're going to fucking fund initiatives that actually work for American people? You crazy? You wild, dude? You out of your mind, dude? That's not happening.
The next day.
AOC explains her present vote on boosting funding for Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. To those who believe this reasoning is insufficient or cowardice, I understand. It is. It's so silly. It makes no sense. She should have just voted no. Like, what a fucking awful way to go about this. And also, I'm not reading any of this, dude. If you think I'm gonna fucking read all this shit, you are psychotic, okay? I'm sorry that happened to you, though. Or I'm glad you're killing it. Let me tell you something. This
almost a year, Pog.
Is the most leftist way to apologize to a human being, okay? Or even if she's not apologizing, then I don't know. But like I said, will not read it. Does not make any sense. It doesn't make sense. You're gonna see the next APAC gala present. I feel like she was threatened or something. Dude, it was such a terrible... I don't get it. I literally don't understand. I do not understand why AOC does stuff like this. And the reason for why I don't understand it is because she could have, okay, she could have absolutely voted yes and then drawn the same amount of fucking ire. Reasonable, by the way. Like, everybody criticizing AOC for voting present totally is correct. They're totally in the right. A note to our New York 14 constituents from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Bestie, you still voted present, though. Predicted. Upcoming AOC Instagram story on why she changed her vote. Okay, dude. Dude. Okay, I can't. Hold on. Where is it? I just saw that. This is the greatest take. This is literally the greatest take. I don't know if you stole it from Twitter or if it's your own authentic take. It's better than anything I can come up with, so I'm just going to read it out loud. She did a symbolic move that managed to piss everyone on both sides off. She's a real Democratic politician now. It is the most Democrat move to like piss shit and fart while fucking, stumbling down the fucking stairs and just manage to get it everywhere, dude. Literally, if she had just voted yes, then everyone would be understandably upset at her. Justifiably so. Okay. Maybe some of the APAC folks would be like less upset at her, but probably not. They're still gonna say like she hates Jewish people and she wants to murder Jewish people on the street no matter what happens. You know what I mean? If she voted no, then she would stand boldly and you know, in defiance of a measure that was going to pass regardless. Okay. And the very same people that despise her and think that she is anti-Semitic. Yeah, by the way, this is a great example. Exactly. Bowman voted yes, and not a peep out of anyone. Lole. I can't believe you said lole, but you're right. Paul Bowman literally fucking ran against Engel and actually ended up voting yes on the provision, and not a single person. Wait, he voted president too, actually, didn't he? The reality is, the people that think that AOC like despises Jewish people or whatever the fuck, they are always going to think that. You are never going to be able to change those people's minds. I'm sorry. You could literally join fucking the IDF for a tour, and those people are still going to be like, yeah, fuck you. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
Is Crystal Meth Gaming? So what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm not saying like Jewish people hate her. Jewish people love her. There are plenty of Jewish people in her district that love her. There are entire Jewish organizations dedicated to condemning and also like trying to stop the American government from supporting Israel uncritically. Okay?
10 months.
That's not who we're talking about.
Dumb shit.
We're talking about reactionary folks here in the United States of America, okay, that are like super pro-IDF, super pro-Israeli apartheid. Does not matter. Anytime you fucking criticize
Jesus Christ,
it, you're a
12
piece of
months
shit
ago.
and you're an anti-Semite. And those people, oftentimes Republican too, those people are always they're going to fucking shit on her regardless. So her voting president doesn't change anything, because they still see her as like the person who led the charge alongside the squad. Okay. I've still yet to hear a downside to the vote switch. It literally satisfies no one. It has no upsides and all downsides. What's the upside?
3 months, Pog.
Yeah, the vote was utterly meaningless. So the no vote would just show solidarity with Palestinians
For 4
that
months,
are
let's go.
routinely oppressed, especially considering that this is like, you know, it's the least most significant thing you can do. You know what I mean? It's like a show of force to say that like you at least did the right thing, right? And instead of, despite all odds, you still did the right thing. And instead of doing that, she changed it to present, which satisfies zero people. The very same people that are still going to hate her are going to hate her. And now she's like, now she looks like someone who does not support Palestinian rights at all. Or at least like thinks that they are something you can bargain with, or something you will throw away when you, I guess, are worried about redistricting or something.